They were carved from mountains, pulled across desert, and stood upright against time itself. Egypt's obelisks are among the most breathtaking achievements in ancient architecture, yet their creation still leaves us asking more questions than we can answer. Each one is a single piece of granite, some over 300 tons, mined from quarries miles away from where they were raised. They were not simply monuments. They were messages, cast in stone, pointing toward the heavens, honoring gods, pharaohs, and perhaps something deeper. The mystery is not just in their weight, it is in their precision, their purpose, and how little we truly know about how they were made. The ancient Egyptians left behind hieroglyphs, temples, and tombs, but when it comes to their obelisks, they did not leave us instructions. There are theories, of course. Some say they were dragged on sledges over wetted sand. Others imagine massive wooden cranes or carefully built ramps. But most of these ideas have never been replicated at full scale. Not because we lack the will, but because even with our machines, the margin for error is small. Moving a single stone that weighs as much as a jumbo jet without cracking it, rotating it into place, and keeping it standing for thousands of years is not just engineering. It is precision, planning, and a kind of craftsmanship that may have died with the builders. Modern engineers scratch their heads at the logistics. These stones were quarried from Aswan, often floated down the Nile, then moved inland over rough terrain. The unfinished obelisk, still lying in its ancient quarry, gives us a clue: it cracked before it could be lifted, so it was abandoned. That one stone would have weighed over 1,000 tons. Even the failure is impressive. And it is that failure that proves how fine the line was between triumph and disaster. The fact that so many obelisks did make the journey and still stand today is staggering. But perhaps the most controversial question is not how but why. Why devote this much effort, this much risk, and this much manpower to raise a pillar of stone? Were these simply religious offerings? Were they political displays of power and permanence? Or were they part of something else, something we do not fully understand? Some scholars believe they had astronomical significance. Others suggest symbolic connections between heaven and earth. And then there are theories that venture beyond mainstream history, wondering if the Egyptians had knowledge we have not recovered. We live in an age where buildings go up fast and fall down sooner. The obelisks of Egypt have outlasted empires, earthquakes, and erosion. They remain where they were placed, while modern cities replace their foundations every few generations. It begs the question: have we advanced, or just changed priorities? Egypt's obelisks do more than mark history. They challenge it. They remind us that not everything ancient was primitive, and not everything modern is superior. They are not just pillars of granite. They are pillars of doubt, silent, standing proof that there is still much we do not know about those who came before us.